Today on the channel, it's a return of the Kyle Peterson Top 5. In today's video, we're counting down my top 5 Billy Gunn figures of all time.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, a Thursday tradition here on the channel, where every single Thursday we're counting down my top 5 and top 10 favorites of something. And of course, we're in the wrestling theme on this channel, but if you go to the new Kyle Peterson 2.0 channel, you can see other top 5 lists that are not wrestling related. We've got a little G.I. Joe Destro over there this week, if you're watching this in order. So shout out to the old top 5s on both channels, and this week, we're taking a look at Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn, a guy that's had a lot of figures over many, many years, over many different toy lines, and actually has a figure coming out later this year as part of the acclaimed 3-pack, of course, a Ringside Collectibles exclusive. So Billy Gunn, never shy for an action figure, but a guy that's had some good figures. I don't know if he's ever had an absolute great figure, but he's been pretty close on a couple of occasions. Just a few things missing here and there. He's also had some hot garbage figures as well along the way, but a lot of people that have had a long career, they're always going to have some of those figures as well eventually. It's just bound to happen, but of course, we're going to count this down. We're going to start at number 5, work our way to number 1 as usual. Don't forget, this is my list. Put your list in the comments down below. I'd like to see what your Billy Gunn list looks like. Nobody's wrong, because it's your list, it's my list, as we always do say. But without further ado, let's kick it off. Let's start it off at number 5. We begin the Billy Gunn top 5 at, of course, number 5. And number 5 would be his most valuable figure he's ever had, and I don't see this ever changing anytime soon. For this one, we go back to the land of Hasbro's for Smoking Gunn, Billy Gunn. Of course, Billy Gunn, part of the Smoking Guns tag team. Really a shame we never got Smoking Gunn teams in other toy lines, of course, Hasbro being the only one. And if you were a kid like me, you didn't even know these green cards even existed back in the day. And it wasn't until you got the internet many years later you saw this, you're like, wait, this can't be real. I never saw these, as the green cards never in my area, out of sight, out of mind, didn't even know they existed. Very, very rare compared to a lot of the other Hasbro series, as we do know. And like I said, his most valuable figure, especially if you have this on card, but even loose, he's well over $100 at this point. So a very, very rare figure, a very cool figure, one that would have been on the scene of the tag team division in my playing days as well. But it isn't the greatest figure ever, but it does have that sentimental value, I guess, as far as being in the Hasbro line. Even if I didn't have this when I was a kid, it just seems absolutely crazy that Billy Gunn, currently part of the 6-man tag team championships with the Acclaim in 2023, had a Hasbro way back in the day. Just one of those crazy things to really sit there and think about. But definitely cool for what it is. The old Jake Roberts arm pose there. Definitely an interesting one, but definitely coming in at number 5 in my top 5 Billy Gunn countdown. Next up in our top 5 Billy Gunn countdown for number 4 here, we take a journey to the Bone Cruncher days. Jack's Bone Crunchers, that is. And when I close my eyes and I think of Jack's Bone Cruncher Billy Gunn, this is what pops up in my head. Of course, it is old Mr. B.A., as it says on the back of his tights here, but Mr. Billy Gunn, of course. We think of this, or I should say I think of this when I close my eyes and think of him as a Bone Cruncher, and always enjoyed this one, and I don't remember if this was my first Bone Cruncher Billy Gunn, but it's definitely what I think of in these neon kind of green tights with the lips on them, things like that. Now, we later had another Bone Cruncher. We had a lot of Bone Cruncher Billy Gunns, but one of the, as time went on, got a little bit better in the head sculpt department, as this is a little bit out there, but this is very, very iconic. From the WrestleMania fully loaded line, many different lines. As we know with Jakks, they like to re-release these things a time or two, but definitely when I close my eyes and I think of Billy Gunn, this is what I think of as far as Bone Crunchers go, and that's why he's at number 4 in the top 5 countdown. We have hit the halfway mark in our countdown to the top 5 Billy Gunn figures of all time as voted by me. Make sure you get your list together. Make sure you put it in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and the other YouTube channel for weekly top 5 and occasional top 10 countdown. So number 3, we go to Mattel. We go to the Mattel Elite Legends line. We go to Target, as it was a Target exclusive. We go to Legends Series 12 for the DX Billy Gunn here. And a very good one, and I got to think a lot of people might have this in the top spot, and I can't deny it because, hey, guess what? It's your list. You can do that if you want to. Of course, got the DX Army gear, but underneath this, we get his white trunks. We get his white gear, so truly a 2-in-1 figure here. Definitely a cool one, no doubt about it. I like what we see here, but this new head design on Billy Gunn that we've been receiving, just not there. It's that True Effects kind of thing. It goes back and forth. Sometimes I like the True Effects better, but a lot of times I like the old sculpted ways of doing head sculpts better, and that's where I kind of am with this one. The head really holds this one back, but I do really like the soft goods pants, the soft goods shirt, of course the 2-in-1 aspect, the interchangeable hands, then of course the helmet on this one. There is a lot of bells and whistles, so a very, very good figure, a must-have figure if you're completing that DX Army. So this one, Legends Series 12, the Target exclusive Billy Gunn, coming in at number 3. We've arrived at the number 2 spot in the top 5 Billy Gunn countdown, and number 2 might be a little bit of a shocker here, but this could possibly be part of one of the best battle packs of all time, as we did do a top 5 countdown of the Road Dogg on the channel just last week, and his version from Battle Pack 32 was in that countdown. Well, we're also at Battle Pack 32 here for Mattel Billy Gunn. Now, this is a basic, but this is back when the basics had a little bit more articulation to them. So, a little closer to an elite than the basics of right now. As we do know, basics going to change their articulation style up once again for the better. I'm definitely here for that. But this one firing on a lot of cylinders here. I talked about that last one, Legends Series 12, just not being sold on the face on it. I'm sold on the face for this one. I absolutely love this Billy Gunn face here. Looks really good. Now, I did customize this one just a little bit. I gave him a little extra touch of pizzazz here, as I did give him a South Park shirt, one of those half cut-off shirts he used to wear back in the day. So a little extra details make this feel even a little bit more elite, so I'm definitely here for the South Park shirts. But definitely love the color on this one. The blue tights look really good. The white boots, of course, black knee pads. The head sculpt looking good. The extra posability, then the modern day basics as of at least right now. Just a lot to like about this Billy Gunn figure, and that's why he comes in so high on this countdown. I don't know if we've ever had a basic so high on this countdown, but coming in at number 2 on my top 5 list. And now that leaves one left. Who's it going to be? Stay tuned and find out. Here we are. We've arrived at the number 1 spot in the top 5 Billy Gunn countdown. Get your list together. Make sure you put it in the comments down below, and then make sure you subscribe to the channel, as every single week we got a top 5 countdown. You don't want to miss what is up next. But here we are, Billy Gunn at number 1. And where is my number 1? It is, it's right here in front of my face. There you go. But the number 1 Billy Gunn figure of all time does come to us once again from Mattel. It does come from the Elite line. We throw it all the way back to Mattel Elite Series 27 for Billy Gunn. Now, we've had some colorful Billy Gunns over the years. There was a Hall of Champions one that was really good with the hot pink tights, but once again, that head on that one, just not a fan of the head. But this head, throwing it way back, much like that battle pack we just took a look at. Love the head sculpt on this one. Really does win this one over. And then the green colors, the neon green, once again, definitely looking really good. You got the hearts, the lips all over here. Green knee pads there, the white boots once again. And as the last one, customize this one a little bit with a Billy Gunn t-shirt once again. Now, he did originally come, of course, with 2 Polly Pocket style shirts and a little headband. I kind of just customized this one up a little bit for my shelf here, but definitely is my favorite Billy Gunn. And we do know, like I mentioned earlier, the next Billy Gunn figure we're going to have is from the AEW Jazzwares line, which we've never had a Billy Gunn over there yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how that one ends up looking when we do get that in hand. It'll be interesting to think, will that or could that have made the top 5 possibly? Well, we'll never know until we do a Billy Gunn top 5 all over again, maybe 5-6 years from now. Who knows when that could possibly be. But definitely do like this one here. Series 27, always a favorite and a standout. When I lined all of them up, I went through the pictures, looked through my collection. This one is the one that won out for me. But remember, I want to see what won out for you. Make sure you put it in the comments down low in this very video. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to both YouTube channels. Don't forget about the Patreon for early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, you name it. all going on over there at the old Patreon channel. And Patreon, your best way to support this very YouTube channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on the X. _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So for Billy Gunn, the one Billy Gunn, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.